Always fun. One is loaded and everything else is just going slow. Not deadly slow, but slow enough that I can actually tell the difference. Isn't that something nice? Also, I'm actually some modern time again. I do find that to be somewhat enjoyable, actually. Oh, where did I hide you? There I hide you. Yeah. Now then, without wasting any more time, let me change things around. Like, dish. Then let's actually see. It should now load faster. Last time I tried to do this before, and because it took bloody 5 minutes for this game to actually start. I kind of was like, Oh, that looks good. It seems that I actually managed to do something good for once. I'm just very happy that this is actually big now. Also, I do know that logo. Let's see, I don't know why I'm actually... Joe Wood. Jesus Christ. That's nostalgic. Me, that is even more nostalgic. Put on your bike. Yes, it is. Go a bit less. Alright, actually need to watch that at some point. But was like, nah, there is apparently an appeal about that. It was like, you have to watch that. So I opened it and it sits there open now for a while. 2 days, 3 days. Up. Let's see. Should technically speaking work. This is once more a bit of a haphazard case. Okay. Far so good, especially the part where I can't see shit. But that is a problem we can solve, actually. So let us go in here for the moment. Also, I really have to get away from that idea. It's a modern idea. Using your mouse to look around? Nonsense. Your keyboard, man. Woman and child. Alright, I can actually shorten a bit of the work we have to do by collecting the turnips already. Well, technically speaking, that's something I remember. If you are a bit of an XP whore and you really want to get it out, when you sleep until the morning, you see that the guy who is usually at the sheep is not there yet, the guy we talked to. The time it takes to actually get down there, you know, that guy walking down here. You can actually use that time to murder a few of the sheep, then you go back to bed, and you repeat that process a few times, and you murdered all the sheep, you get all the XP, all the raw meat. And he's just going to go down there and be like, oh, making my job easier. No sheep to watch. Pretty good trail. But yeah. If you are that much of an XP whore, then oh, feel free, go ahead. Something like that, I guess. Now, I did kinda install a bit of a mod, it should make the game not necessarily look much nicer. The game actually doesn't look that bad, but it should keep it working somewhat stable, because it's actually now using a bit more GPU power instead of just basic CPU. Because, you know, the Gothic series, back in the day when it came out, and GPUs were, you know, shit, quite literally, used a lot of CPU and render pretty much everything and load everything. So basically everything in the game world is the very moment you load inside you, and it's continuously loading new stuff. So basically everything is going to be loaded and loaded and loaded. Which gives amazing results, especially if you think about the early 2000s. But there's of course a bit of a problem with that, namely that it really drags on your bloody CPU. Nowadays, of course, with with, you know, actually very much strong. What was I saying? Okay, right. Yeah, because actually back in the day they loaded everything and heavily used the CPU. Nowadays, however, you know, GPUs are actually pretty damn strong and you can actually make use of that. So you should. Bit of a problem, you know, with switching generations. I think this game originally was made for was it Direct 7 or something? Let's just say something pretty damn old. And yeah. But there are mods for that. The main problem of that is the Gothic community as a whole is pretty active, but that's mostly the German part of it. Well, considering the game originates from Germany, that's not really surprising. But it does make it a bit harder for, you know, English-speaking people to go into it. I mean, some actually mod makers were clever enough or friendly enough. You know, comes down a bit to what you personally prefer to call it. Actually give an English explanation there. But not that many. There are some quite cool story mods, for example, for Gothic. That sadly all in German. I actually thought about playing a few of those. There are a few really good stories there. And I was thinking like, then you would have to actually explain to people what is actually happening there. That's gonna be a pain and you're gonna ruin the good story, aren't you? Because you're not really good at it. Yeah, I will absolutely admit I'm probably not good enough of a storyteller to make that convincing. So I'm not going to try. Also, I have completely forgotten what happens when I push all the switches. I'm just, in case, going to make a save game. Because I'm expecting horribleness. Okay, horribleness happens. But nothing comes out of it. Very enjoyable indeed, because that means I'm not dying to some horrible monster murdering me. That's a result I can work with. Ah, but yes, technically speaking, this was a very, very smart idea back in the day. The results spoke for themselves, you could see. Because, you know, back in the early 2000s, this game looked fucking amazing. Kinda wanna steal your stuff. And nobody's stopping me. You fools. You trust a stranger in your home.
Hey, who invited you? Get out of the house right now. There's no alms to be had here.
Oi, that's not very nice of you. Didn't even have time to ask. You know, something to read. Why can't I read this? Apparently that book is just for show, you know how some people just have book cases sitting around in their shelves. Well, it's essentially empty. Yeah, pretty much that. Never understood why people would do that. It comes with the added risk that somebody's gonna be like, oh, that looks like an interesting book. I want to read that. Pulls book out, sees it's empty. Well, shit. Somebody has just found out that you are a bit of a vain person. Actually, wasn't somewhere up here a leather satchel? It's almost sure. No, it's there. Knew there was one in here, I just didn't remember where. Ah, but yeah. Back in the day, people needed to be quite creative to get things working and look nice. Not that much of a problem nowadays, but you know, back then, the graphic cards were still, let's call them, early endeavors. Well, we were on a good way. It just took a while to, you know, get results. Not that uncommon, mind you. Let's avoid you, because I need to talk to you later anyway. I think there are some more goblins around here, and I was actually looking for those. Also, there's a spell here. But yeah. Good times. Blood flies. Lots of them. And there should be at least another goblin or two here. Blood flies. I hope it's the young variant, because if that is the adult variant, I'm screwed. No, not 2. Not 2, I said. 1. Yes, you. Only you. Come here. Come here. Little bit up. I really need to get used to this because Gothic 2 actually changed a few things, and now when I actually push back, actually I can show you this, he's actually blocking. See? But what I want to do is make a move back. It's gonna take some getting used to again. But yeah, minor difficulties. Nice critical hit in your face, quite literally. Now this part of the woods, actually this is not much of a problem.
One less monster around.
Ah, great. I remember you. I see, Gothic 2 has one major advantage over Gothic 1. It has pirates. I mean, look at this nice little pirate guy, just standing there. And we're not gonna see much more pirates for a very, very long time. Now here comes once again a bit of strategy. Oh wait, we are going to very, very carefully get a bit closer. Actually, we could, yeah. That's the other variant. That's a city guard. That's a young one. A young one is something we can deal with. Yeah. Well, as long as they're, you know, alone. Come here. Well, one of the first things we should determine is what sort of weapon we want to use, because, oh boy, I'm not good at swinging my weapon. Also, what I'm doing here is running in the wilderness part here. Actually, at this point in time, not much of a good idea. Ow. Mostly because of that. If you wanted to see a great hero, a slayer of monsters, demons and others, getting murdered by a rat, here you go. I do love that. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. That shutter there, that was the game loading very heavily. I guess the mod kinda changes that around, because usually it's a bit more gradual. But I don't want to fight 2 rats. One is more than enough. Was that giant rat? It's not of the small variant. Jesus Christ. Let's save the apples. Go, eat some raw meat. That's totally not going to do horrible things to your digestion. Yeah, probably it's going to make you sick. Yeah, we've had everything. Cheese, fish, all together. I mean, to be fair, in the end it does come together in your stomach, but that quite literally sounds like a meal I would want to have. Well, it's a bit of XP farming. Then again, I'm not nearly as much of an XP whore as you can be. Oh boy, you can do some very interesting things to get the XP really going. That before they did cheap thing. Cheap, don't fight back, and you can murder them quite easily. The only ones who are actually standing between you and sheep genocide, basically, are the people owning the sheep. And it's not much of a problem, because usually those people are actually going to bed at night. Or you will have a, well, you know, quite nice opportunity to murder a few before they wake up. Personally, I always wanted to be somewhat cheap. I mean, at least, you know, wait until you are big and strong enough to actually fight them for their sheep. You're an adult. You're an adult. But technically speaking, we could probably get back there to get those things. I just have a bit of a fear that I might not be able to come back up here again. I don't really remember the environment completely. Been a while since I played this. And as I said, during actually playing Gothic 1, the world of Gothic 2 is pretty big. It's pretty mildly. It's very much at the border, so to speak, of what I would consider a reasonable. Yeah, I kind of figured that that would not work. Oh well. Can't really do much about that now, can we? Ah. Game's like, come on, gonna load. Okay. So the price we pay for faster saving and generally smoother gameplay is a little bit of lagging here and there when I load into the game world again. Well, I can live with that. Well, that's a cheap price to pay, I'd say. Ah, rusty swords. There was a time when I could actually use those. Well, long ago. Long time ago. Before my little hero forgot everything and the world changed and suddenly rusty swords actually require a bit more strength. Gold, you say? Well, this is the very early beginnings. We need to collect everything. Later on, technically speaking, you can be a bit more like last star. In generally speaking. No. See that jump? Yeah. That's what we call skills. On the other hand though, if you are a strong enough superhuman that you can A, jump that high and B, drag yourself up there only with your arms, congratulations, you're pretty damn fit. Also superhuman. I think actually there was, yeah, there are some ways to get into the city, and well, technically speaking you are not supposed to get into the city without meeting the city guards. You can actually at a few places, if memory serves, face yourself through the wall and just be inside. I'm not gonna do something that cheap. No. Cheap and sheep. Because, you know, it kinda ruins how the game flow is supposed to happen. And, no, it does not really sound that entertaining. Now, there's one more. You are mine. My stick of judgment. Found you unworthy. Quite literally. Because all we can actually use is a bloody stick. Ah, oh well. It's gonna be hopefully not actually that long before I... Actually, I will need to reconfirm that because I don't actually remember it, but I think the soft lock on your skill points is with 30. So once you reach 30 points, you will have to pay 2 per 1 skill point. What that means is that what you want to do usually is you want to get up to 29 and then you want to buy 5 at once because you get those 5 still for the old price of 1. And everything after that is going to cost you 2. Pretty easy when you think about it, but you don't really have the points to waste, now do you? I mean, sure, by the end of the game, chapter 5 or so, you have all the bloody points in the world to waste. Because if you've gotten that far, you can probably deal with everything the game world has to offer. Until then.
Hey, you. Since you were here the last time, some of my stuff has been missing from my chest.
Nope.
You give me back my clothes right now.
Forget it.
I'll teach you. Filthy thief, just you wait.
Do I have your clothes? I don't think I actually have your clothes.
Stop right there, you lowlife.
No? That sounds like such a stupid idea. Why would I stop just because you tell me? And actually, I have your clothing. Nice. Technically speaking, that's all you need from here. You can take these clothes and just go in. The city. Because now they're gonna think I'm a farmer boy. But of course, that would be boring. Have you already forgotten? I mean, worst case, I'm gonna give them back and I'm gonna, you know, get them honesty. I actually had completely forgotten that taking from that chest is not a good idea. Hey, you know.
And how goes the work?
Same as always. Lot to do, not enough money, and with a bit of bad luck, the orcs will come tomorrow and burn down our farm.
Oh, that
King's
sounds very
paladins
optimistic.
have occupied the whole city, but I can hardly believe they'll move their butts out here when the orcs attack us.
Probably not. Any interesting
Is there
news,
any
my
interesting
friend?
news?
That's a
I
very
could have
important question.
sworn I saw an orc over there on the edge of the woods 2 days ago.
Hell, you're
Since
actually right
then,
about that.
I've kept at least one eye open at night.
I'm headed for
I'm headed
town.
for town.
And?
Is there anything interesting you can tell me about the city?
Nope. But Maleth goes to the city from time to time. Maybe he knows something. I mean, something that would interest you.
Then has Lawbart come back to be an annoying prick? No, that means he's probably stuck somewhere. I will assume. That's usually what happens. Because while the NPCs are very good at actually following you, aren't really that good at, you know, walking back to their place. See?
Get out of my sight, you...
Oh, damn it. Well, yeah, even if I load that, that's not gonna help me. Because at that point I've already taken your stuff. Hell, can I beat you?
Hey, watch it. Just you wait, you sumbitch. Never pick a fight with me again.
Let that be a lesson to you.
Well, damn it. I mean, I could use a scroll on him or something, but it kind of seems like such a waste, doesn't it? Oh boy. I'm going to have to... It'll take a while to get used to.
Never pick a fight with me again.
Yeah, no, I don't think we have much of a choice here. We are probably gonna have to ignore it. I don't like that. Or what we could do is go back from here and actually give him back his stuff. Well, I guess that's a spot. Okay, okay. I'm willing to acquiesce here, and but that was probably my mistake. You don't really need to go through all the trouble of actually, you know, convincing that bastard. Then again, it's not really a good idea to start off making enemies dead early in the game. And also, I think actually slow button. It's not really important actually. I mean, he's basically, you know, not so much the turtle, because there actually is not a turtle in this game, basically. But he's basically part of the introduction chapter. And he's there to offer you another way into the city. The most simplest way, actually. Not really important, but, you know... I also wouldn't want to, not do it. Very early variant of, you know, your actions actually have consequences. So you probably shouldn't fuck around all that much, especially with other people's stuff. Which, of course, is not going to stop. Although I think this time, depending a bit on how much I get into it and how much I feel the need to talk, your little ears off, I will probably do my thievery and a bit of the collecting stuff, basically running around your world map and going into a few, just a few more hidden places. I will probably do that on my own little time, just because, you know, there's not much of a good reason to do it. Whee! That's not the most interesting. It's basically me running from the city more into the woods and into Wilderlands and looking for stuff. Oh, we did this already. The portal. Which means on the stone circle near Lobart's farm. Oh, right. It's part of the portal quest. I see. I remember now. Oops. Bit early for that. Now that I think about it. Now then. We already know Lobart's gonna be like, stuff is missing. Give back my clothing. And we're gonna be like, yes, Massa. We give back clothing. We good people. But again, a showcase, technically speaking, if you actually want to just, you know, get the clothes and be done with it, you can. You can absolutely get immediately after this bitter armor though, so that's not really worth it, you know, to piss it a little bit off.
Hey, you. Since
Yes,
you were
yes.
here the last time, some of my stuff has been... You give me back my clothes.
Here, take them back.
If you want them, you can pay. Now go make yourself useful.
So, how much for the work clothes?
How much for the work clothes?
Well, we'll see. Maleth said you chased the bandits off.
Hmm.
Bastards have caused us a lot of trouble.
Yes, I
Thanks
did
to
that
you,
all on my
We're
own.
rid of them. 7 gold pieces.
Nope.
Well, that's still too expensive.
Well, suit yourself.
I'm looking for work.
Indeed.
I can't use another farmhand, but I could offer some work to a day laborer. Well, what I mean is, you can lend a hand in the field. And there are certainly a few other things to do around here. I could pay you with gold, or give you a few decent things to wear.
Decent
The
things to
are
wear would
worth a
be very
fair
much
bit.
appreciated.
Can't give them to you for nothing, but I can sell them to you cheap if you work for me. By the looks of you, I should say, take the clothes.
You don't say.
Anyway, the small turnip field next to the barn needs to be harvested.
Alright.
All right.
Then hurry it
Beggars
up a
cannot
bit
be
before I
choosers.
change my mind.
Shut up.
Have you got anything else for me to do?
First, get the turnips in from the...
Here are your turnips.
Hey, you're not all that worthless after all. Take them to my wife in the house and tell her to cook them.
What about my pay?
I can give you 5 gold pieces.
Yay!
Or sell you the clothes cheaper. Well, what's it to be?
Make me a better price for the togs.
Good. I'll give them to you for 10 gold pieces
I mean,
less.
seriously, 5 gold pieces.
Have you got anything?
I don't. But you can ask my wife or the boy.
5 gold pieces, seriously, man. You are one cheap-ass person.
Hey. I've got a few turnips here for you.
Great. That should be enough to fatten those guys up. Since you're here anyway, I saw a traveling trader pass by here a few minutes ago. I think he stopped on his way to town. Go to him and see whether he's got a decent frying pan for me.
Give me the gold, and I'll go see the merchant for you.
Are you saying I can trust you?
Yes, yes.
Just don't spend the money on booze, do you hear?
I would never. Can you give me
Can you
something?
give me something to eat?
Here,
Nice.
take this. You're a good lad.
I am a good lad. Look at me. I don't look like a nice and trustworthy person. I don't know. Oh. I can see a flag. I don't know if you can see it actually in the far distance. At the almost 12 o'clock. Actually, no, it's 12 o'clock. That's part of a ship. I can tell you that much. We're gonna see that ship.
Wait a minute. And how goes the work?
Same as the king's.
Oh yeah, we already talked to you. Any interesting news? No, you don't have anything on your thing. Headed for town? Nothing from you, I know. And I'm sure.
Can I help you?
Do you know anything about working in the fields?
Nope.
What is there to know?
In that case, I think we're fine here. Thank you. If you want to work for Lobart as a day laborer, I can only warn you, he pays people like you really miserable.
He offered to sell me some clean clothes cheap if I helped out on the farm.
More than
I
enough,
don't
I
have
would say.
anything for you to do, but you can bring me and the boys something to drink. Fetch me a bottle of wine, and
Well,
I'll
it's
tell
still a
Lobart
surprise.
you were a real
Mr. Vino
help to us.
wants wine. Yes, you're right.
Here's your wine.
I'd better not ask where you got her from, huh?
Better not, honestly.
Oh, who cares? Thanks anyway. Lobart will only hear the best about you.
Nice. Yeah, let's avoid the pirate for now. So he's gonna be a very slimy pirate and be like, hey, you're a good guy, aren't you? You would help a stranger in need, wouldn't you? You're sitting there like, you are looking quite suspicious, my friend. Also, thank you. Another tool for my collection. Look at that. It requires a freaking 30 strength just to use a bloody rusty sword. I could use the pickaxe, but it's a two-handed weapon and that makes it pretty annoying. Expect club, however. That's long. Much nice. That's very nice. I'll take that.
Who do we have here? You're on your way
Jesus,
to
of
the
course.
city. Am I not right?
Maybe.
You look like a fugitive. All fugitives are headed for the city. You could even be a former convict for the mining colony. I don't care where you come from, but I believe I have an interesting offer for you.
It's very fastly like, I don't even care. Don't murder me, please. Because, you know, that's actually one of the logical mistakes he's making there. He's like, okay, I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna talk to this guy who looks like shit. I'm gonna make him an offer. What's stopping that guy from murdering you and, you know, taking everything you have? Practically nothing.
What do you have to
Apart
offer?
from the fact that I'm
The way you
Well,
look,
weak
guards
as
will
all
never let
that.
you into the city. I can help you get into the city. I have here a small piece of paper with the royal seal and the governor's signature. A pass. With this scrap of paper in your pocket, you can run about as raggedly as you please, and the guards will leave you alone. Interested?
generally speaking. How will you
How will
get?
you get into town?
The guards know me. I will simply tell them that I have lost my pass.
Interesting.
What do you want for your pass?
I knew you were the right man. Listen, you will get the pass from me now.
Just like that?
Just so. But if I meet you in the city, you owe me a favor. Do we have a deal?
There must be a catch
There
to this.
must be a catch to this.
Generally speaking,
No,
yes.
no catch. You will merely owe me a favor.
No, sure.
Sure. Give me that paper.
Here, be careful with that. It is very valuable. One more thing. Don't even think about breaking your word. As a merchant, I have a great deal of influence in the city. And it wouldn't go well for you. Believe me.
Show me your wares.
Take your pick.
See, we could have just as easily just murdered you right here. You know. Who would have stopped us? The answer to that is quite literally no one. Nice amulet. Also, you've got the frying pan I'm looking for. Well, the good thing is now I'm getting actually gold without having to do the whole change the roofing all the bloody time. I'm very much pleased with that. Starters. Yeah, keep those. Keep that. Don't we need a hammer? Don't we need a pick? Don't we need a saw?
I've got to go.
Suit yourself.
So far, so good. See, there are quite a few ways actually you can get into the city apart from, you know, just glitching your way in. You could technically also go around the whole city and go from the other side, which also is an option. Yeah, I mean, you know. You can. Doesn't mean you have to. Or anything like that.
Hey. Here's your frying pan.
Fine. Let's see then whether it's any good.
Can you give me...
You've had your portion for today.
Yeah. I have my portion for today. Whee! Don't worry, I'm just checking for mice. Not like I'm looking for any hidden money you might have up there or something, you know? Of course not.
Hey, you! Have you got...
I don't.
So,
How much for the work clothes?
Well, we'll see. You work the field for me.
I did.
You help my wife.
Yep.
Vino says you were real help to him. And that's saying something. He doesn't usually hold with day laborers. Maleth said you chased the bandits off. The bastards caused us a lot of trouble. Thanks to you, we're rid of them. 40 gold pieces.
Well, that's...
Well, suit yourself.
but that's not gonna get any cheaper now, is it?
How much...
What you for?
Give me the...
Well, my boy, honesty is the best.
No, I have that. And I paid money for it. Was that really necessary, you might wonder? Nope, not really. I would have felt rather strange to just... You know. Good. Hey, Greg.
Psst. Hey, you, come here.
What is it?
On your way to the city, and really busy too.
Yes.
Listen, you look like a smart guy to me. I bet you'll go far in life. You're certainly nobody's fool. I could see that right away. Say, you'd
You
probably
slapping
like to
butter.
earn a few gold coins, wouldn't you?
Cut the crap. Tell me what you want.
You see, that's exactly what I mean. Nobody gets anywhere with you just by using pretty words.
No, I'm just
I
not
knew it.
used to it.
I'm dealing with a tough businessman here. You're a businessman and certainly interested in a small addition to your purse, aren't you?
Yes. Are you hiding from someone?
Are you hiding from someone?
Just out of
Of
interest?
course not. What nonsense. I just enjoy standing among the trees so the wind won't blow right into my face. What
Yes,
about
of
you
course.
now? Do you want the
Wow,
job?
that's such a weak excuse. They could at least be like, oh no, I'm just taking a stroll through the woods. That's something. People can't really disprove that, now can they? I just stopped for a moment, you know, to catch my breath because I have been walking for a while. At least make it believable.
You don't look like someone who has gold.
Well, I certainly don't move in the same circles as a gentleman like you. But
Says
you
to the
won't
guy in
refuse
rags.
my small contribution to your surely considerable fortune, will you? Well, what do you say? Can I count on you?
Well, why not?
Why not?
You'll have to forgive an ignorant old seaman. I'm a stranger in these parts and I don't really know all the rules. So I had to find out the hard way that traveling strangers aren't welcome in the harbor city. Now I'm
Yeah, no,
standing
not right
here
now,
with
actually.
no idea how I'm supposed to get into the city. I have some extremely important business to conduct and my client won't tolerate a delay, you see. You'll help me find a way to get past the city guard, won't you?
Oh, there are so many.
About the city guards.
Yes, got an idea?
I mean, I would try as a herb
You could
gatherer.
get into the city as a herb gatherer.
What? Do I look like I'd be picking flowers in the woods?
I mean, I'm doing that. What about bribery?
What about bribery?
That's
Well,
a
if that
good
worked for
question.
me, I'd have tried it already.
They should let you pass if you're wearing these farmer's clothes.
That's just what I need. Man, I knew I could count on you.
Yeah,
Nobody
I'm awesome.
will bother me disguised as a local yokel. Excellent. You did really well. Here's your promised reward.
What? 50 measly gold coins? You can't be serious.
Gold isn't everything, my friend. Take them for now. I have the feeling that we'll be seeing one another soon. And who knows, maybe I'll return the favor. Look after yourself.
Well, I mean, technically speaking, the clothes cost me 40 and he gave me 50. I made 10 gold from that deal. Oh boy, that's not much. Well then, we have just quite literally murdered all the good creatures we could murder. I think it's a bit tougher.
How?
What is it?
You aren't getting in here, my boy.
Why not?
Looking the way you do, you're sure to cause nothing but trouble here, boy. We got enough rabble in the city. We have no use for people without money.
Well, technically speaking, I have money.
I need to see the leader of the Paladins. I've got an important message for him.
Oh, and what important message might that be?
I have come to
I have
get the
come
Eye
to
of
get the
Innos.
Eye of Innos.
What? Never heard of it. What's that supposed to be?
An
It's an
artifact.
important artifact.
You don't look much like an important messenger. Do you have some kind of identification?
No.
I'm bringing some herbs for Constantino, the alchemist.
Really? Then you won't mind showing me what you brought. Looks good. All right, in you go. But don't cause any trouble. Understood?
Sure.
Move along.
What's up?
Listen, you now have access to the city, but that doesn't mean you can do whatever you want around here.
Yes,
If you don't
so.
stick to the rules, you'll lose all your rights here.
So what you're basically saying is don't steal, don't murder. Let's avoid that paladin blatantly staring at me.
anyone may enter the storeroom.
Why can't anyone enter the storeroom?
The Honorable Lord Hagen has confiscated the goods for the King's army.
Kinda begs the question
Hey, hello, stranger.
if you
must
cannot
be
sneak
hungry
in
and
there.
thirsty. Perhaps I.
Believe everything you hear.
Hmm.
I was actually on my way to see the paladins.
There's little chance of that. Since the paladins made themselves
Oh,
at home in
isn't
the
that
upper
great?
end of town, hardly anyone gets in there anymore.
What I heard.
Especially not somebody like me, eh?
Can you help me get into the upper quarter?
Me? Nah. I don't have much say here myself. There are a few people in the lower city who have enough influence to get you past the guards. Mateo, my boss, is one of them. Maybe you should talk to him.
Do you really believe that?
Where can I find Mateo?
You're standing right outside his shop. Just go on in. He's practically always there.
Well, I guess he wouldn't have anywhere else to be.
What about the other influential citizens?
The merchants and master craftsmen here on the main street are the most important figures in the city. You
Oh,
should
that's
try to
easy
get
enough.
accepted by one of them as an apprentice like me. Since I started working for Mateo, the people in the city treat me with respect.
Well, I'm kinda doubting that, but you know.
I need some money, and I'm looking for work.
I've heard that Bosper has trouble with his suppliers. His shop is right over there. They say he pays pretty well.
What do you
Even
have to
sounds
offer?
good.
At the moment, I don't have. The damned landowner doesn't deliver anymore. And what we get from the small farms isn't enough to meet the demand.
Tell me about
Tell
that
me more
revolt.
about the peasants'
That
revolt.
sounds interesting.
It's quite simple. NotR, the fat landowner, won't pay any more taxes to the city. Imagine,
why?
we're at war with the orcs, and that fat slob wants everything for himself. Normally, the city guard would take firm measures in such cases.
Yes,
but now
but-
comes the best part. They say NotR has hired mercenaries to keep the troops from the city off his back.
Oh my, mercenaries.
The whole thing will end in a damn war, as if one war weren't enough.
Well, I do know a bunch of mercenaries.
What do you know about Onar's mercenaries?
I heard that most of them are former convicts from the mining colony.
probably
and
all
their
friends and
leader's supposed
companions.
to have been a big shot with the king, a general or something.
I know
Whom
what
they
that
put away as a traitor.
sounds like.
These are
He is.
terrible times.
sounds like the kind of people we want to get involved with.
Show me your wares.
Oh, then you have apples, eh? Can I buy your apples? I can buy your apples. I will buy your apples. Mostly because I do remember those giving a bloody bonus
Really didn't deserve that.
to strength when you eat, I think 50?
Hey, you're new in town, huh?
Hmm.
Yes, and
Okay.
what about you?
I've come from the mainland, and now I'm
Mhm.
hanging around here. I'm almost out of gold, so all I can do now is join the militia, I guess. But I don't want to do that. I won't be slaughtered by those orcs on the king's behalf.
He's making a good point, actually. That doesn't sound too nice. What can you tell me about
What can you
militia?
tell me
That's
about
a
the militia?
One of the
question. Probably
paladins
not
has
much.
taken command.
Hmm.
A certain Lord Andre is trying to mobilize half the city in case the orcs attack. But you need to be a citizen of the town in order to be admitted. As far as I know, if you're not a citizen, you can train anyway. But you won't be officially admitted.
Well, great.
What else can you tell me about Lord Andre?
He has taken over the position of judge as well. If you cause any
Correct.
trouble in this town, you're gonna have to answer to him. I was once in a brawl with a citizen. He went crying to Lord Andre and ratted me out. That
Oh,
little
boy.
matter cost me 50 gold pieces. I was lucky that it happened at night, or others would have witnessed it. The more people complain about you in this town, the higher your penalty will be.
Who did
Great.
you fight with?
With
Yes,
a fellow
great.
named Valentino. He often hangs out in the tavern near
Ah,
the temple.
Valentino. Oh
I'm
boy.
not usually a violent person, but that guy needed his face rearranged in the worst way.
Has anything exciting happened?
Yeah, I
You
remember
could
that
say
guy.
that.
Oh boy.
They robbed Bosper the bowmaker. What a brazen thing to do, I tell you. The fellow just ambled into the shop in broad daylight and grabbed himself a bow. And
That is
Bosper
something.
right after him, hollering, "Stop right there, you rogue!" But the thief was too fast.
That's something. That takes a certain amount of balls. True.
What can I do for you?
What are you selling?
I can offer you everything you need to survive in the wild. Weapons, torches, provisions, even armor.
Nice.
I still have a special piece in stock.
That's nice, huh?
Double-hardened armor of snapper leather, still unused. Interested?
Technically speaking, yeah, but that's a lot of money.
What do you know about paladins?
Since these bastards have come to the city, I've had nothing but trouble. The last time I was headed for the upper end of town, the guards flat out stopped me and asked me what was my business there.
Oh boy, I
And?
can't believe
Of
that.
course they let me in. I had my shop in the city when most of those pompous asses were still chasing pigs with wooden swords. And yesterday, the bastards came and confiscated half of my goods.
Yeah, I'm interested in those goods.
The paladins seized your goods.
Everything I had stored in the backyard. They simply posted a guard in front of the entrance to the yard. If I'm lucky, they won't take everything. At least they might leave the armor here.
Can you help me get into the upper quarter?
What? What are you going to do there?
I've got an important message.
Well, well. Have you tried getting past the guards?
I don't see why I should even try.
You're probably right. I don't know how important your message is, and it's none of my business. But even if you told them that a ship full of orcs just anchored in the harbor, they'd send you away.
I know,
Because
that's
they
the
have
problem.
their orders.
You don't say. It's like, wow, it's almost like they're, I don't know, being military personnel. Fucking warrior order, of course they're gonna be like, I've got my orders. I like standing at this bloody door all day, all night. They say there is a ship full of orcs in the harbor. Let the city guard deal with it. Oh, they're getting slaughtered. I guess let the other guys deal with it. Oh, I've got orders. Oh, you can help.
So can you help me get into the upper quarter?
It seems to be really important to you.
Somewhat,
The
yes.
question is, how important is it to you?
How much?
What are you getting at?
I can help you. After all, I'm one of the most influential people here. But it'll cost you.
Oh, how exactly can you help
How
me?
exactly
Let's
can you help me?
first go there.
Quite simple. I'll use my influence to see to it that one of the master craftsmen here takes you on as an apprentice. As such, you'll practically be a citizen of the city and can enter the upper quarter. Besides which, you'll earn something while you're at it.
Good point, actually. Is there... Actually, show me your wares first.
Show me your...
I don't really have much. Is there another way?
Is there another way to get into the upper quarter?
Perhaps. If I think of anything, I'll let you know.
You won't, because then I won't do your bidding.
Why don't you take me on as an apprentice?
I would, but the other masters wouldn't agree. I just recently took on another apprentice.
Oh, great.
How do I get the approval of the other masters?
You just have to convince them. Go and talk to them. But if more than one of them is against you, you don't stand a chance, so behave yourself.
I'm always well behaved. Apart from the times when I'm not, because I'm stealing stuff.
Where could I sign on as an apprentice then?
Basically, with any master here on the main street. That would be Harrod the Smith, Bospa the Bowmaker, Thorben the Carpenter, or Constantino the Alchemist. One of them is bound to take you on. But it's important that the other masters agree. That's always been the custom here in Corinus.
Well, Corinus is a bit of a strange place, but okay.
What are you asking for your help?
100 gold pieces.
You shark.
Take it easy. It isn't your gold I have in mind.
Okay.
In principle, it's my gold.
I always love it when
Greta,
things
the
start like
carpenter's
this.
niece hasn't paid what she owes me in ages. But the little brat is constantly running around in new clothes. That means she has the money. I'd like to beat it out of her. But Master Thorben, the carpenter, is also a very influential man. Get me the money and I'll help you.
That can be arranged.
Where can I find this Greta?
Like I said, she's the carpenter's niece. His house is down the street, the last house on the right before the smithy.
Getcha. I can get that done. So you have... Can I read? I can read. But I thought it wasn't anything new. You're probably not gonna like if I play with your chest.
I know nothing about picking locks.
You should learn something about picking locks very fast, my friend. Ah, that's the bow maker. Okay.
But that's terrible. Welcome to my shop, stranger. I am Basper. I craft bows and trade in furs.
Oh, so
Well,
far
what
so
brings
good.
you to Corinus?
I need to get into the upper quarter.
Where the paladins are? Forget it.
Yeah, so I've been
You
told.
need to be a respected citizen here, or at least hold a decent job. As a stranger, you stand no chance of getting in.
Ah, so no, that's my problem. Actually. I actually heard that someone stole from you.
I've heard that someone stole from you.
Who told you that? Probably Bartok, huh? Didn't he have anything better to tell you? Oh, well. Let me tell you, if I get hold of this bastard, he can say his prayers.
I mean, you've got a nice bow on you. You could shoot him.
When I came back, I could only just see him leave, with my bow on his shoulder. I called the guards right away, but the lowlife ran towards the harbor, and they lost him there.
The harbor, you're
I
saying?
lit a bonfire under their asses then, and they searched the entire harbor district, but they didn't find a thing.
That's interesting.
Fumbling lackeys. I bet my bow is still in town somewhere. I informed the guards on both city gates, and they haven't seen anyone leave with my bow. When I get my hands on that bastard...
Sounds like there are a few thieves around.
I'm looking for work.
I could use a new apprentice. The last one just gave up his job 2 days ago.
Oh,
Do
shit.
you know anything about hunting then?
Nope.
Well,
I could teach you how to skin animals. I'll pay you well for every skin you bring me.
Nice.
And it's gonna get even worse.
what if I want to sign on with one of the other masters?
Balderdash. Herod and Matteo already have apprentices. Constantino the alchemist is a loner, and he hasn't taken an apprentice in years. And as
Yeah, but
for
maybe
Thorin,
I'm just as
everyone
special.
knows he's dead broke. He probably couldn't even pay you. I, on the other hand, am in urgent need of an apprentice, and I pay well too.
But also
But
you
no
claim,
matter where you want to sign on, you need the approval of all other masters from the lower part of town.
Will I get your approval to sign up with a different master?
All right, you shall have my approval, but on one condition. Work for me, at least for a short time. That way, you can find out for yourself whether you like my craft or not.
I mean, you
And
make a
who
good point.
knows? Maybe you'll end up liking it, and you'll stay with me. If you're good enough to sign on with me, you're also good enough for all others here.
Well, okay. So what actually do you want?
What do you want me to do for you?
I will teach you how to skin an animal, and you will bring me, let's say, half a dozen wolf skins. Then
Okay.
I'll know that you have learned your trade. If it doesn't take you forever, and if the skins are in acceptable condition, I will take you on if you like. Or
Okay.
you can start with one of the other masters, if that's what you really want.
Okay. We could learn this now, which is probably a good idea, so we can get it out of the way.
Why did your
well.
apprentice give up his job?
All he said was that it had become too dangerous out there. If you're really interested, then you can ask him yourself. His name is Bartok. He's probably hanging out near Corrigan's Tavern. Go through the underpass from the smithy, then you're headed straight for it.
Oh, good to know. Good to know. So I guess show me your wares. What do you actually have? Bows? Way. Surprising, he has bows. Also a ring of dexterity and a leather belt. Together with leather armor, that would be +5. That's pretty sweet. You? Yes, I have apparently a sealed message. Where did I get a sealed message from?
Got my own opinion about that.
Oh well. But before we start spending our little points, or really nini,
I know nothing about picking locks.
yes, so you claim all the time, but you damn well should know. Because you bloody learned, didn't you? Originally. Hey Tom, would you mind if I go inside your house for a second? I need to talk with somebody. Few more XP points. Yep. A whole 25 of them.
I know nothing about picking locks. Hey, you!
What do you want, stranger? If you've come to beg, I must disappoint you. I am a poor widow.
Oh, so you
My
claim.
name is Greta. Ever since my husband died, I have been running the household for my uncle Thorben.
Mateo sent me. You still owe him some gold.
He wants his money? What for? The goods he delivered were flawed, bad fabric, and bad seams. And did you look at the colors? Those are not the colors
Oh
I
boy.
ordered.
It's one of
That's
those
fraud,
person.
that is. Let me tell you, back when my husband was alive, he wouldn't have dared to do that. Oh, my poor husband.
Cut it out. Where's the gold?
But I don't have the gold. I'm only a poor widow.
Ah, well, guess.
Then we'll simply sell a few of your togs. I'm sure you've still got a bunch of stuff in your closet.
How dare you? Uncouth lout. All right, here, take the gold.
See, that wasn't so hard.
And now, will you please leave my house?
That is not your house, that is Thorben's house. Just gonna point it out, you know? Not your house.
Here's your 100 gold pieces.
And? Did she cause any problems?
Well,
None to speak of.
Good. You've held up your part of the deal.
Help me sign on as an apprentice with one of the
that
masters.
was easy enough.
Don't worry. I'll keep my part of the bargain.
Well, you bloody
The
hell
other
better.
masters will only hear the best about you from me.
After all, one of them should probably be pretty pissed with me. Namely Thorben, who is probably not gonna be like, you son of a bar.
Hey, you! Ah, fresh face. You're not from Corinus, are you?
Nope.
This is not a good time for travelers. Bandits everywhere, no work, and now the farmers have risen up too. What winds have blown you here?
The most worthwhile. I'm looking for work.
I'm looking for work.
Do you know anything about carpentry?
Nope.
The only thing I can make out of wood is a fire.
And what about locks?
Well...
I'm sorry, but I can't use you if you know nothing about my trade. And I
can
have no
learn.
money to pay for an apprentice.
What if I want to start an apprenticeship with one of the other masters here?
All right, I shall give you my approval.
If...
But you had better get yourself the blessing of the gods
Yeah,
first.
knew it.
Say, are you a man of faith?
Sure.
Yes, a most humble servant, Master Thorben.
Then go to Vatras, the priest of Adanos, and have him give you his blessing.
Sure.
He will tell you where you can find a priest of Innos. You should get his blessing too. Once you have received the blessing of the gods, I shall vote for you.
Well, sure, we can do that.
So, you know a lot about locks.
What good is a fine chest without a fine lock?
He's making a very good point.
My own locks. That way, I can at least be sure I haven't built my chest that sturdy for nothing. A poorly made lock is easy to break, and there are plenty of thieves about in Corinus, especially lately.
I mean, yeah, he's kind of making, you know, good point. So, can you teach me, you know,
Can you teach me how to pick locks?
You have paid Grita's debt with Mateo. You seem to be a decent fellow. I shall teach you what you want to know. However, I cannot do it for free. I still have a mountain of debts, and I need the money.
How much do you charge?
200 gold.
Jesus.
Maybe. Can you sell me some?
Well, all right, but they won't be of any use to you as long as you...
Well, at least you're willing to trade with me. Well, that's nice and dandy.
What do you know about the paladin?
Not much. They arrived by ship too. Since then, they have withdrawn to the upper end of town. Nobody here really knows. Many are afraid of an attack. I suppose, however, that they are here to quill.
Do you know anything about that
Do you know
rebellion?
anything about the Peasants' Rebellion?
Yeah,
Rumor
good
has it
question.
that NotR, the landowner, has hired mercenaries to keep the king's troops from breathing down his neck.
Yeah,
He was
so far so
probably
good.
tired of having to throw his harvest along with his livestock at paladins and militia. All we notice of this in town is that the food price... NotR's farm lies far to the east of here. We wouldn't know if there's any fighting going on there.
Interesting,
And if you want
interesting to know.
more, ask the merchants in the marketplace.
That's getting kind of dark. Do we actually have... I have a torch. That's very helpful. As otherwise...
Hey, you, wait. You look familiar to me.
What do you want?
I've seen your face before somewhere, right?
Can't really imagine. Oh shit.
Here, we found this picture on some bandits we picked up a few days ago. It looks a lot like you. Apparently, those guys were looking for you.
Gee, I'd never have thought of that myself.
Very funny. What did those guys want from you?
I don't even
Ask
know.
them yourself. You've got them safely locked up, haven't you?
No, they're dead.
I guess we'll never know then.
If you're in some kind of trouble, go talk to Lord Andre. Maybe he can help you. You'll find him in the barracks.
Some random bandits out in the woods have your fucking wanted poster with them. Are you in some kind of trouble? No. Just because I don't know what sort of trouble I'm in doesn't mean I'm not in trouble.
You've got no business being here.
You don't like me being here, eh? Okay, I can leave. I can leave. Game will let me.
Hey, you're not quite as stupid as you look.
Well, thank you very much. Gracious master.
What do you want? I'm not giving anything away.
Wasn't even asking.
I'm looking to become an apprentice.
Really? And with whom are you gonna sign up?
How about you?
I want to sign up with you as an apprentice.
With me? No! I have already had the dubious pleasure once of grappling with an apprentice. That's quite enough for me. I invested several years in his education, and in the end, the poor fool up and poisoned himself. Go sign up with one of the other masters.
No, I need more.
What will I have to do to become your apprentice?
I couldn't bear yet another dilettante on my conscience. There is a multitude of herbs out there. Used in different variations, they develop the most diverse effects.
Fascinating.
You probably don't even know half of them. Here. This is a list of the most important plants.
Okay, okay.
Bring me a plant of each kind, and I might reconsider taking you in as an apprentice.
Okay.
I want to sign up with one of the other masters.
You have come to ask my approval?
Well, yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, you can sign up with whoever you like.
Apart from yourself, of course. You know.
I'm in need of healing.
Why? Are you injured?
Yes.
There's barely a scratch on you. And I have more important things to do than to talk to you.
He's like, yeah, I'm not gonna help you.
Show me your wares.
Pure life energy. Pure mana. The Vampire of the Stars. Nothing really else of importance. Yeah, you're not gonna like me plundering your chest, I suppose. So the game doesn't really like the torch and the flame, does it?
Don't say you didn't know that.
Oh no, the game really doesn't like that.
I won't tell her a thing from now on.
You really didn't deserve that.
That's still a question, of course. However, are we going to go inside that nice little...
What with?
Sadly. Can't even let myself down there and pretend. Actually, now that I think about it, actually there was a method here. A method to these nonsense.
No! Are you deaf? That was a...
Ouch. There was one way you could do it without using the bloody spell. I mean, there's a spell for this situation. Let's go sleep. I don't think I have one just now. Or do I?
Halt! No one may enter the store.
How did this work? There was one way you could... It's so bloody cheap, but you know, it fucking works. Missklickt. I have myself some armor, Okay, I'm just gonna point out, yeah, that was a bit of a cheap trick, yes. Kinda worked. It's the definition of being sneaky, isn't it? Now the question is, do I have to do it out? Okay, no, can I actually climb? I don't think I can actually climb. Means powerful side walking. Also, don't ask me why that actually works. I have not the slightest clue. But we now have some leather armor. And a lot of citizen clothing that we can just sell. For money. Good money. I think we should also talk to the guy.
Hey! I'm looking for work.
Indeed.
I could use a new apprentice. Brian will have finished his apprenticeship soon, and then he'll leave the city. Are you good for anything?
If you mean, do I know blacksmith's work?
No, that's not what I meant. Sooner or later, the orcs are going to lay siege to the city, and then the only men who will count will be those who are in a position to defend our city. And I won't take on anyone as an apprentice who will disgrace me by fleeing the city with the women and the good-for-nothings, instead of holding the fort here with the men.
I'm not a good-for-nothing.
Those are big
Technically
words.
you are.
Can you back them up with big deeds?
What are you getting at?
Bring me an orc's weapon. Orcs have been seen near the city. With a bit of luck, you won't have to search for long.
Yeah, sure.
If
That
you
sounds
manage to
absolutely
bring one
reasonable.
down, I'll take you on as an apprentice, provided the other masters agree.
Very reasonable.
When can I start?
Not before you...
Can I sign on as an apprentice with a different master?
The other masters may well approve, but I will only give...
Okay, you made that very obvious.
Do you sell weapons too?
So far, so good.
Everything I make goes to the paladins or the militia. I have a commission for 100 swords from Lord
100, Jesus
He
Christ.
wants to equip the city guard.
That's a pretty high amount of swords.
You've got no business.
I've got business everywhere. I'm quite literally God.
Hey, you're not quite as stupid as you look.
Hey, you!
Notice I'm not even stupid.
I'm Master Harrod's apprentice.
Just, you know, annoying. Generally.
What's it like to be the smith's apprentice?
Why do you ask? You want to be my successor?
Maybe.
Why not? I'm almost done with my apprenticeship, and then I'm gonna leave the city. But not because of Harrod. He is a good master. I have learned a lot from him.
Why do you want to leave this town?
That's a reasonable question.
The people here are getting on my nerves above all the other masters. I still remember what a fuss it was getting accepted as an apprentice with Harrod. Really, every one of them jokers had something to say about it.
Yeah,
I want to
I can
decide
imagine it being a
for
pain in the
myself
ass.
who I can or can't take as an apprentice.
Who are the other?
Well, there's Thorpen the
Yeah,
carpenter.
yeah,
He
we
sells
know.
armor, but all the masters have their house, and Constantino's shop.
We know.
Tell me more.
He's not in a very good... A few days ago, the paladins came. They've even forbidden him. Now he slaves day and night to finish the...
I mean, that's nice and all.
Can I buy weapons?
Not really. The weapons that are made in this smithy are collected by the militia and taken to the tower. But if it has anything to do with...
What can I get?
I can sell you some...
Well, that's not much you're actually offering me. Better than nothing, yes, but not much indeed. Now then, we've got an armor, we've got stuff, and
But Enos beheld what Beliar had done, and he also bestrode the land and chose the human. And Enos spoke to him, and the human became his subject. And Enos gave unto him a portion of his
Hey, Vatras.
Adanos be with you.
Who are you?
I am Vatras, a servant of Adanos. What can I do for you?
Fascinating. What do you have to offer? Sure, tell me about the words.
What exactly?
Tell me about Beliar.
Beliar is the dark. He is an eternal battle with Enos. Only a few humans follow the call of Beliar.
Tell me about
Adanos is the god of the center. He commands the power of change. His priests are the water mages.
Good to know. Good to know.
Tell me about
Very well.
Totally not obvious.
Enos is the first and highest. He commands light and fire. His gifts, his priests are the magicians.
Fascinating. These like blood. My friends, of course. Not anything bad there. No. Hey, we're just totally my friends.
Can you teach me?
Only the chosen of Enos, but common mortals can also work magic. I
We
can
know.
show you how you.
I'm asking.
Why should I give you?
I want to start an apprenticeship with one of.
Go with a blessing.
Nice.
Where can I find?
The best thing would be to look around the marketplace.
I've got this.
Those are artifacts from the old culture. There are several kinds of them. Some contain information about the history, and that is the kind I am interested in. I shall give you.
Nice.
Tell me about the.
And why would I do that?
Why not?
Cavalorn sent me to you.
And what did he tell you?
He said you're in dire need of more good people. Here.
For me?
Right, now I know. Or better, I remember.
This is. I wonder how you got.
I got it from
Cavalorn?
He told me to tell you he couldn't make it and is headed for the meeting point.
I see that you have gained Cavalorn.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty awesome
Tell me
person.
about.
And why?
I want to join.
You do? Well, that means you have already.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, there must be someone among us who trusts you, but I know nothing about you.
What do you want to know?
Well, you could tell me where.
I carry an important message.
What is this message?
A large army is gathering as we talk, led by dragons
Indeed.
and determined to conquer
Horribleness.
the country.
Dragons? You speak of beings which until now.
Zardos, the magician.
The necromancer. So he lived.
I'm a former convict from the penal colony of Corinus.
Good. Let us summarize.
Gut,
You
fassen wir
are a
mal
former
zusammen.
prisoner
Suddenly German.
who has been told by Zardas, the necromancer, that dragons have come to conquer the country.
Indeed.
And you have come. That all sounds rather fantastic. Therefore, I must assume I want to give you a chance.
Nice. So what must I do then?
What must I?
Know that you take on great
Yeah,
responsibility.
responsibility.
Anyone join who comes if you want to join the ring.
And that means.
Before we let a young man join our rank, only then can I begin to consider letting you help preserve the balance.
I have vanquished the sleeper. Isn't that a great enough deed?
My ears hear many a tale these days.
Yeah, then how about this
including
tale?
a story about the banning of the beast called the Sleeper. I have not heard that this was achieved by a single man, although your eyes tell me that you are convinced you did this.
So basically you're
That
telling me you consider me mad.
confuses slightly, but I cannot be.
I have freed many people. The barrier is gone.
Even if you can really claim
I can.
responsibility for that, The great event in the Valley of Mines has not only set free all the criminals of the entire country are roaming Corinus these days. The bandits have already taken over large areas of land outside the city.
So what would be an...
Corinus is facing the number of people missing from the town. If you can explain to me what happened to them, however...
Yes?
You should take your message. I consider it a matter... Talk to Lord Hagen.
But Lord Hagen...
Yes, he will, no doubt about it, provided you... The ring has... We shall assist you in conveying your... You should talk about this to Laris, whom I...
What community should I...
There are only 3 communities. These are the city militia, the monastery. The choice is... Laris can certainly assist you with this.
I shall do...
See, now we kind of have to start thinking about who we actually want to join.
Wait, if you see Laris, give him this ornament and tell him that it needs...
Which is, generally speaking, a bit of a pain in the ass. Now this just goes back to the merchant, so instead we are going to take a look around here. We are just a city guard, good. Now in the pub I know there's Valentino, who's a great person. Really great person, mind you. Annoying enough that you just want to beat him up for no other good reason than the fact that he exists. Free beer, free beer, free beer. Ah, that's a good thing. Well, shit.
What are you...
I'm a novice from the monastery. I have provided the 3 innkeepers.
Who are the...
One of them is the good man. Then there is Karagon, who has his tavern on the temple.
What can...
We novices seek enlightenment, and we serve them as we serve Innos, and prepare...
Well, take...
Forget it. Do you know how... When I think of all those blood flies... Besides, you can't...
Why not?
Entrance is only permitted...
And how become novice?
If a man feels...
Hey, just tell me...
You need the offering. 1,000 gold pieces.
Jesus.
How am I...
Since you obviously don't know anyone who would pay that for you...
Where can I...
From the farmers, of course.
Well, surprisingly enough, the farmers won't sell me a sheep. Sheep? A sheep? Sheep? Yeah, a sheep, sheep. Jesus Christ. Do we want to take a drug? Yeah, sure, let's take a few drugs.
Strange. It seems... Well, great are the mysteries of time and space. Welcome, friend.
Who the hell are you even?
My name is Abu Jin ibn Jadir ibn Omar Khalid bin Haji al-Sharidi. I am a seer and a prophet, an astrologer,
yes,
and a purveyor of tobacco.
Purveyor of tobacco, you say? What kind of tobacco do you offer?
What kind of tobacco do you offer?
My pipes are filled with spicy, refreshing apple tobacco.
Nice.
Help yourself whenever you want, son of adventure.
Do we have other tobacco as well?
You have other tobacco as well?
I offer only the very best tobacco. This apple but of course, I'm always open to trying a different sort of tobacco.
How's that done?
Start with my apple tobacco as a basis. This is done at an alchemist's bin.
Where can I get...
I shall give you 2 portions. If you crave more, then direct your steps towards Zuri.
Can you make me...
My services are yours for a modest fee.
How much do you want?
For a paltry 25 coins. But remember, the future.
Well, that sounds horrible. Okay, let me see what the future
Tell
holds.
me about the future.
All right, seeker of knowledge. I shall now enter a state of trance. Are you ready?
Absolutely.
Orcs. They are guarding an entry, an old tunnel, a valley of mines, men in shining armor, a magician. Your friend is with them.
Oh.
He's waiting for you.
That is good to know.
An attack. flames, many shall die. What is that? A city.
Holdron in Jakendar, oh no!
Holdron in Jakendar. He is summoned. Holdron in Jakendar.
Yeah, we need to deal with this nonsense too.
I'm sorry. Division is over.
Can you make me?
Oh, son of the mysterious few. Only when time sends me another omen.
Oh, but the chapter advances.
For you again.
When will that be?
When the chapter advances.
Become present.
Yeah. So basically, once the chapter advances, basically you get free XP for listening to him. Yeah. We have not even finished looking around in the city yet. And we have been at it for over an hour. Sadly, at this point, I will have to end it again. This during the week, and I have not much time though. Admittedly, tomorrow I will probably be able to do, if things go well, that is, a midday stream. Maybe. Not any promises though. But I will of course also be once again at it at the usual time in the evening, which I find much preferable, because then it's at least not that bloody hot. So, if you hear something in the background, it's just my little fan going all fan, because it is bloody hot in this apartment for my test. Oh well. Should it be very much disturbing to you, do let me know. Can not really stop it, but at least put it to, you know, a lower setting. Or something. But yeah, for the moment, let me save. Like this. Then I shall bid you adieu. I do like that. Have a good one and all that. And I shall be back tomorrow. Just that I don't yet know what sort of concrete way that's gonna be. It's either gonna be 1 or 2. Depends a bit on how things work out. But oh well. That's how it usually is these days, and I'm getting somewhat used to it at this point. I am however also planning a few other things that I might wanna do. Start doing or return to doing, you know, stuff like this. Alas, for the moment, bye bye it.